Hey everyone, it's me as the Sasuke125 here, back again with a new Let's Play. So, yeah, for this Let's Play I'm going to be playing Skyblazer, an underrated Super Nintendo game, or by its, well, the Japanese version of it anyway. Oh yeah, and fun fact, this game was made by Sony before, they became Sony Computer Entertainment and shit. Oh yeah, and obviously the main character Sky, well in the English version, he's obviously inspired by Son Goku. So anyway, we're at the first, boss, quote unquote. You can't really move in this, so yeah, you get defeated by boss and he takes, the priestess chick. So yeah, you're supposed to lose, basically. Anyway, so this old man shows up and helps you out, telling you how to defeat the, Azura, the Azura actually, the dude that took your, well, I wouldn't say girlfriend, but the hostage and shit. Oh yeah, and that, what he's showing you is the password system. Oh yeah, this game uses a password mechanic, which is very common for Super Nintendo games, but then again, this was like a late Super SNES game, and yet it's weird how they're using passwords. But then again, this game's actually pretty short, so that that would make sense. Oh yeah, the green stuff that refills your health. Gems, they're kind of like coins like in Mario. Get 100 of them, you get an extra life. Speaking of which, extra life right there. Oh yeah. And also try to be careful and shit. Anyway, we're at the next stage. Oh yeah, and there's that bar for like your special moves and shit. Also, another thing to know is that when it comes to damage in this game, it's kind of inconsistent. Like, sometimes you take one bit of damage and sometimes you take two or more. So, depending on the enemy and shit, so try to be careful. Alright. Also, this game really has a lot of, mythology themes to it, Chinese mythology and freaking Indian mythology, which is kind of unique for its time. Also, yes, this game has, wall climbing, but it's not, but it's a little tricky. And that's what I mean. 2 of my health got taken, but, you know. And also another thing about this game is that when you die, you don't regain all your health. You usually start off with 4 health points. And don't worry, there's also a lot of extra lives in this game, so if you messed up, it's not the end of the world. This game can be a bit difficult, but it's not like NES hard level that. Oh yeah, these enemies explode and shit. And every time you go into a new room, it acts as a checkpoint, which is. And I got a life, and I just died. Whatever. Right? Also, the enemies tend to drop a lot of stuff like gems, and so it balances out the difficulty. And plus, you can kick projectiles and shit. Anyway, we're at our first boss, which is a genie. But you have to destroy the lamp that the genie's in. And luckily, you can destroy the enemy projectiles with your kick. That was on accident. And careful not to get walled in. The bosses in this game are actually pretty easy if you know what you're doing and stuff like that. And also, like in Mega Man, you get like a new ability each time you beat a boss. I get like this cool dash thing, so that's pretty cool. Anyway, now we're doing a flying stage where you're using a flying machine and shit, and you're punching. Also, when you're doing these types of stages, it's auto-scroller, and you have to hold the jump button to keep flying. Otherwise, you'll fall to your death. So yeah, the music to this game is actually really cool, though. Right. And luckily, you know, when it comes to like the flinching you take, it's like in other NES games, it's not as bad. Alright. And we cleared that stage. Next stage. The stages do get pretty hard later on, so, you know. So yeah, don't underestimate this game. Oh yeah, and also, you can go over here and grind for lives and shit, which is really useful. Yeah, I'm just gonna do that just to refill my, you know, health. There we go. Also, really love the pseudo 3D effect here. Careful of those spikes. Shit. That was close. Oh yeah, and those red things refill like your special move meter, so... or mana, if anything. Oh yeah, this part's tricky because of how the wall climbing system works. Get up there. Grab a little bit of that health. Shit. Alright. That was good. That was close. Again, really love how this character looks like Son Goku. Which is kind of cool. Seriously, Sony should have made like a Dragon Ball game with this. Like, it would be cool if there was a Super Nintendo Dragon Ball Z game that was an action-adventure game. Actually, this game wasn't made by Sony, but it was made by like one of their... I wouldn't say company, but like one of their... It was made by like this one company. I forgot what their name was, but I'm sure someone in the comments, if they see this video, will tell me. But they made like this other game called Punky Skunk. Once again, disappearing and reappearing blocks. Another annoying video game trope. Son of a bitch. Oh. That's gonna take a while. Wish I had really good editing just to speed this. But luckily the blocks reappear pretty quickly as much as they disappear quickly. Alright. Dodge that. There we go. Much better. Careful of this wall crushing segment. And oh yeah, luckily spikes in this game don't kill you instantly, but getting crushed will do that. And there we go. Made it up there. Now we're at the boss battle, which is this rolling enemy that he rolls and then will fire something, and you have like this window of opportunity to kick them in the eye and shit, or punch them. Oh yeah, and if you have enough mana, you can probably use the dash move to avoid the guy's attack, like that, for example. But try to at least save some of it for the later phases. So, or when they're like, when the boss gets pretty big, you can just duck. Oh shit. Yeah, I'm gonna screw up a few times in this playthrough, but whatever. Funny, I got hit, but yet I still managed to land a blow and not die at the same time. Thought I would do a sonic boom, and then you get this like healing item ability, which is useful and shit. So anyway, this dude is all like, you know, you've already cleared the island and shit. Are you ready to go out and fly to the next area? And you're like, okay. So anyway, this is like sort of a bonus game kind of, where you can collect a bunch of gems and shit for extra lives and shit. But hey, you know, you can already grind for lives throughout this most of the game anyway, but this is pretty nice and helpful and shit. Also, really nice 3D effect there. Pseudo 3D. Oh yeah, and also if you die in this stage, it's like, it's not a big deal. You'll still make it to the other, you know, part of the map, so, you know. But try not to get hit though, but if you want to get more extra lives, also the guy gives you, you know, extra bit of health and shit, you know, each time you get far enough in the game. Anyway, here's the, I guess, last stage for the video. So, here we go. Oh shit, I pressed the wrong button. Ah, there we go. Oh, well, just thought I would show you what the health thing does, and yes, it restores health, obviously. Most of it. It's really useful, especially in the later stages. Forget it. Yeah, I should have not have used that right there. Careful of those wolf enemies, they can really take a good chunk of your health. Okay. That was an accidental strategy I found. of course, there's like this segment where you have to avoid getting crushed to death and shit. Careful, try to get out of there as quickly, but not too quickly where you accidentally kill yourself and shit. Okay, this one usually you would use like the dash move, but you can still do this a different way, like that. Okay, next part. Just keep your head down and move out of the way. Alright. So yeah, I don't have mana for this part, so this is going to be a little bit more difficult. So yeah, you just have to kick this guy's eyes and head. Well, the head inside the head anyway. It's like fighting a wall. Literally fighting the wall itself. Also, if the thing crushes you, you're dead, obviously, like I said before. Alright. Plus, this guy's patterns get a lot more faster, so be careful. Alright. Now all that's left is his head. I'm doing this without mana, so this is a lot more difficult. And just like that, we took care of the boss. Once you get his pattern down, or patterns down, depending RNG, pretty easy. And plus, now you get this one ability where you can fire 8, from all 8 directions and shit. Anyway, that's about it for now. I'll be signing off. I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye. Go. Hey guys, it's me, Sasuke, back again with more for Skyblazer. Anyway, last off, we took care of the first island and shit. So, now we're kind of moving on to the second part. And we're crossing the river. Oh yeah, and also with this level is that if you go into the water, fishes are going to try to eat you. So, try to be careful. With that. Just get back on the wall to get back in the water and shit like that. And that pretty much takes care of that level. Next level, right? Here is water level and shit. And we all know how water levels are like in video games, right? But hey, this one's... But luckily, most of the levels in this game are really short, so... It's not that big. Mainly you have to kick like these switches to help you traverse through parts of the area. And, also be careful and shit. Oh shit. go through here. And try to save some mana for like the boss fight, because that's going to be really helpful. Okay, get an extra life. Oh yeah, and this level can loop a bit. Oh yeah, and you have to go a particular order and shit. It's kind of like a certain level in the original Mario Bros. Like during like I think the last encounter with Bowser or some shit. Got the water flow. Kill the dragon. Right there. Get up here. Try to do that. Go up here. Oh shit, I meant to press this button. Now we're at the boss. And since I don't have enough mana, this is going to be a little more trickier. Quickly grab that. And there we go. I actually had a pretty easier time taking care of the boss there. So yeah, now that we got rid of took care of that boss, now we get the time stop, which is probably going to be pretty broken, although I barely even use it, so whatever. Anyway, now we're at this level. This is where things get a little bit more trickier. Careful. Take care of the enemy. Okay. Oh shit. Didn't mean to do that. Oh god. Luckily there's no time limit, so... Oh yeah, as soon as these things just show up, just get on top of them as quickly as you can. Alright. There we go. As soon as you pass like the second part of that stage, just if you have enough mana, just dash there quite a bit. So yeah, I could just go straight to the final boss in a certain direction, but I don't feel like doing that, and besides, it would make the whole Let's Play pretty short anyway. Plus it would have been too easy, and shit, that's not good. Good thing I have a little bit of some invincibility frames. With this stage, it's a little bit difficult. You kind of have to rush through, but careful not to be a dumbass and to die. Oh shit. Oh god. And there we go. That takes care of that. And now we're in this stage, which is a little bit tricky to deal with because of the water currents. And try to hold the jump button on at a time, and well, luckily since I have more lives, this isn't that big of a oh shit. Yeah. And love how when you know, when you die, the music doesn't restart, which is good. Shit. Crap, I meant to go the other way. Alright. There we go. Shit. Luckily, if you have enough mana, you can literally dash through most of these stages. Okay. And for some reason, I'm not taking any damage. Except when I touch the boss. But the boss will try to knock you out of the way. So, yeah. But, whatever. You know. Alright. For this one, I'm just gonna grab some... use, like, the health refill thing, and I just died! Yeah, that's just great. The only exception to the music tracks not looping is the final boss. Not final boss, but the boss battle. Oh yeah, for this one you just have to find a real dude. Shit. Try to get him. Had him for a moment. And there we go. He's pretty much taken care of. Okay, now with that guy taken care of, we then go into the next area. Which is another, like, flying segment. This time, you know, it's a little bit more tricky, but again, since there's a lot of, you know, health packs and shit in this level, so freezing here should be kind of a bit easy, but not really. Since you don't have access to your other, like, main abilities, you just have rely on flying and punching in. Also, you know, other stuff as well. Also, really love the music here. Pretty snazzy beats if you ask me. There we go. See what I mean by how these levels actually go by pretty quickly. And now we're heading to the cave level. There we go. Oh, yeah, these enemies right here, they're pretty much invincible. They're kind of like the dry bones and shit. Anyway, first segment cleared. Alright. Oh, these guys are trouble. Because their attacks can do a shit ton of damage, so either try to avoid them or try to destroy their projectiles before they hit you. Just like that. And you go down here. Anyway, here's the boss. This elephant dragon. Which looks really cool, by the way. I really love how this game has a lot of mythology that inspires it. Not just, you know, Japanese mythology, but, you know, like Indian mythology, which... So yeah, this game's essentially like Azora's Wrath before Azora's Wrath was even a thing. But I say this is better, like, you know, at least they're not charging a shit ton of DLC for it. I mean, again, different times, but whatever. Alright, now we get an invincibility cloak. Booyah. And now we're going into the forest. This level is actually pretty easy if you know a certain path. No, not there. If you go down here, and then go through here, next you have to climb up around here. And ignoring the fact that I died, but luckily you don't, you know, have to restart from the beginning if you've gone through a door and shit. Then you go through here, and look at that! Some extra gems. And now we're at this part. This stage. Also, there's a lot of spikes, but again, they're not instant kill, so... But, hey. Just in case... Okay. Good thing these were conveniently placed. Alright. Just avoid these guys. Another crusher segment. This one is a bit more of a pain in the ass. But again, these segments and levels go by pretty quick. Similar to like last time, there's a part where you can climb up here. Ah, fuck. It's a lot easier with the dash ability, but not impossible without it either. And just in case, careful. Okay. This part, you can just do that. Try not to rush through it, but try to be quick though. That's all I have to say. Oh god. Now the rest of it should be pretty easy to go through. Just duck down there. And boom. And yeah, you're gonna be chased by a huge ball and shit. Indiana Jones style. All you have to really do is avoid that. And there we go. Just keep going up here. Avoid these guys. Oh yeah, and they take off like 4 of your health. Shit. And this is a bit of a fall of fate. You're supposed to land there. But you can miss if you're not. But luckily you do, since I have... Oh shit. Yeah, this is just gonna be me just falling down quite a lot. Oh boy. Finally! Beat this guy up for some more extra stamina and also mana. Avoid these guys. Or kick them. Alright. For this boss, I recommend using like this. Again, thank God they're not in, spikes aren't instant kill. Oh, in this segment, you just, similar to like the last one, you just have to dash across. And there we go. Now, this one, just have to climb up here. Alright. For this boss, you're going to be fighting this guy. Oh yeah, also nice little 3D effect there. Okay. Oh yeah, there's like a little trick I remember. If he's low enough when you attack him, you can actually do like a... You can actually stun lock him there, but I died. Whatever. Again, got over 10 lives, big deal. Oh, shit, that was... Yeah, try not to stand still too long with this boss. Or do that. Again, these bosses aren't too hard, they're just... Okay. Get the health item on. Oh, you suck! And now you have to go and fight Shenron. I know that's not his name, but... Shit. I'm just gonna keep jumping around. Oh shit. Try to get as much hits as you can on him. Or do this. Finally got him that time. Yeah, you just have to be really quick and attack him in a certain pattern. And now you get the Phoenix ability. And then you go talk to this old man and shit. And once again, there's another flying bonus game and shit. If you die, it doesn't really matter, but you're just here just to try to collect as much as gems as possible and to gain more extra lives. Which isn't all that hard to do. And you can avoid just by going in the circle like this. If you want to still continue collecting more life ups and shit. Or 1-ups. So anyway. So yeah. We made it to like the third island and shit. So here it is. The final level and shit. Anyway. That's really about it, honestly, for now. Well, this is SS Sasuke 125 here, and I'll see you guys at the final part of this Let's Play. Catch you all later. Peace. Hey guys, it's me, SS Sasuke 125 here, back again with more Skyblazer. Anyway, we're at the last island, so here we go. Oh yeah, this part you just have to climb all the way up, and these, like, parts the pillar will, keep falling and shit, so try not to fall off and die. This is the only part of the stage. Okay. Here we are. Oh yeah. And this is a boss rush. There goes the first boss again, and that's the strategy I used. Sorry, I was getting something to eat. Anyway. Gotta deal with this guy again. mean, I could have just duck under there. Let's see if I can try doing that other way how I finished him off last time. Alright. I had to finish him off with a sonic boom there. Wait. Shit. That was stupid of me. I guess I'll have to beat him the old-fashioned way. Luckily, he's not that hard, since I did took a big chunk of his health already, so... Shit! Alright. But hey, I'm not worried since I have plenty of lives and shit. I keep dying. Crap. Shit. He's a lot more faster. Got him. Finally. Alright. Next part. Alright. Took care of that. shooting his apples. And that's the last of the boss rush. Now then. There we go. Now we're fighting against Ashura or Azura. First we gotta break his shield. And that takes care of him. Pretty easy boss. If you have like full mana and the Phoenix ability. And we finally rescued the Shrine Maiden. And here's the old man and stuff, congratulating us. However, you know, Azura is all like, it's not over yet, bitch. Because I just summoned the true final boss of the game and shit. And we're about to face off against him, who's kind of difficult. But there is an exploit. Oh yeah, notice how his face melts during each, you know, time he takes damage. It's pretty subtle. That's a kind of a cool animation that I like. Here's what I do. I just keep running up to him. And the laser he fires does like 2 damage, but if I keep getting close up to him and, you know, I only take 1 hit, 1 bit of damage, which is convenient. So and just like that, the final boss is taken care of. Yes, I know there's a better way of beating him, but screw it. This isn't an expert video, so this is just me playing this game for fun. So yeah, the game ends with the Shrine Maiden being all like, you know, I'm glad the day is saved, but, you know, too bad I couldn't repay the dude. But then the old man's like, there's no need to repay him and shit. Besides, he only rescued you because, well, you know, he's a good person and shit. Well, Sky, the main character. But, you know, as long as there's evil, justice will always show up, yada yada yada, Shonen protagonist type stuff. And so Sky, you know, wanders the earth in his phoenix form, you know, till one day he'll return or something. Even though this game never got a sequel, but I would really love Sony to remake this game one day. Too bad the original studio that made it, that Sony was working with, got shut down. Fun fact, the people who worked on this game were former Capcom employees, which kinda does make sense, but hey, you know. Overall, this game is really underrated and shit. You know, if you can find a copy of it, I say, you know, check it out. Anyway, this is SS Sasuke 125 here. Thanks again for watching this Let's Play, and hope you enjoy. I'll catch you all later. Peace.